You know, they say it happens to everybody. You make a bad shot, can't find your deer, none of it feels good. But this particular hunt for me is one that I'm going to replay in my head probably until the day I die. It was the 6th day on a 5-day hunt. We got to stay a little bit later because we got rained in. Our van couldn't get out of the field that we needed to drive through to exit the camp. So Riley, the owner of Saskatchewan Big Buck Adventures, said, hey guys, you're stuck here. You may as well hunt one more day. And up until then, we just hadn't had any great opportunities at any shooters. He put me in a stand where he knew a really big one was coming in, and another hunter actually passed on for some reason earlier in the week. It was a 10-hour sit, which on the final day was pretty hard to bear. It came down all the way to the last few seconds of light. I look over my shoulder, 1,000 yards out, I could see headlights. I could see the ATV of my guide coming to get me. And at the exact same time, I see an absolute tank, a Volkswagen, just walking in 20 yards in front of me. This is my only chance. I have a few seconds to kill this bear. I took a shot and the arrow goes right into the ham. It didn't just hurt him, it hurt me. And I actually think it hurt me more.
I didn't make a good shot. I was freaked out, man. Oh.
Just because I'm on TV doesn't mean I'm the most experienced here, okay? We all make mistakes. We all react differently in the moment when that heart is just taking complete control. I did the best that I could that year, and let's just say it was a hard night to fall asleep. That arrow popped right out. He was seen on camera not but a couple days later. That bear was perfectly fine, which I felt good about. When I saw that, of course, I never like wounding an animal, so I got a lot to learn, and this lesson is one I'll never forget. Fast forward 2 years. Spring of 2024. I get to go back and I get one more shot at taking a bear. It was just me and Brad Rux in camp. An entire week, our guide Rod was doing everything. He was cooking, he was cleaning, he was taking us both out. I can't speak highly enough about the staff here. They are absolute A-game guys. Like every hunt, you always kind of psych yourself out when you're, driving all the way up to Saskatchewan. You tell yourself, oh man, there's so many bears here. We're the only guys in camp. There's no way we don't tag out right away. I tell myself that every single time I go on a trip. Guess what? It never happens.
Cue the multiple day hunting montage. See you on the last day.
These days were probably the longest days of my life. Day 2 and day 3 were about the same. I saw a pair, a small boar and a sow come in together, and according to Rod, they were a perfect display of being able to tell the difference between a boar and a sow. The sow being more identifiable by her face being a lot longer, her feet being skinnier. So if you're not accustomed to black bear hunting, it can be very difficult to tell them apart. The boar was just a young guy though, so I wasn't gonna shoot him. We knew that we had a pretty large bear coming in here. He had a nice white V on his chest. So that was the bear that I was waiting for.
Judge me all you want, but the thought of taking 150-pound Saskatchewan bear is becoming more and more enticing as the days go on.
Day 4 comes. The forecast was nothing but sun. It was, all right, it's finally gonna be 65, 70 degrees. It's gonna be sunny. It's gonna be a good day. It started to rain. Then it started to hail, and then it started to snow. And the worst part is, because we looked at the forecast, didn't bring any rain gear along this sit. That was fun. At this point, I knew I had to trust Rod in my head, and he even told me, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking you want to go to a different spot. And part of me was. But golden rule of thumb when you're with an outfitter, it's trust your guide. And Rod said, guys, if you each sit in these stands the entire week, you're going to get a chance at a shooter.
Today I want to take a minute again and talk a little bit about ozone and how it eliminates scent. Ozone literally makes any kind of bacteria neutral, which totally destroys scent. That's why it's so popular in the field. They use it in, athletic stadiums, in the locker rooms. There's a ton of people, even in hospitals, are using it to sanitize the equipment. So you know it works, it's proven. Ozonics was the first one to come out with a unit which uses ozone in the field, right? So it eliminates your scent from the tree. Last year they came out with the HR 500. I thought it was the bomb. It was quieter, it was better than the other units. What did they do? They just made it better. They came out with the HR 600. And what this does, it's 20% more output. So you're getting more ozone in the field with you, which is going to be even more effective. It's going to be 25% quieter than even the 500, which was extremely quieted before. The one thing that you always had to worry about a little bit, even with the 500, was battery life. They took care of that problem as well. This one's going to be 30% more efficient for battery time. But the coolest thing is the replaceable core. Now, in the old units, you never knew per se if that core went bad or not. You'd almost have to do it by smell to make sure you could smell the ozone, but even then you didn't know if it was fully working. Now you have a way to replace that. And this is, again, it's got the app with it so you can control it from your phone. Check out the HR 600 at ozonics.com.
Modern Hunter is brought to you by
So here we are, day 5 out of 6. Yet today would be the most convenient time to make it happen, simply because if we do it tomorrow, don't get back to camp with the bears until 11 p.m. Up all night skinning, trying to get them frozen as quickly as possible, and then hitting the road in the morning. So 20-hour drive back home. So as you can imagine, we really want it to happen tonight. I know what I'll pass on no matter what, but tonight, the big guy's coming in at 6 a.m. We found out. It's not exactly convenient. It's not when I'm out there sitting, so hopefully he comes in, gives me a shot tonight. But if he doesn't, and another bear comes in tonight. Male, a little bit smaller. For a first bear, I think I might pull that trigger tonight. This day was different. This day was awesome. Half an hour into the sit, I see what I think was a boar, nice red or brown, come through from the back. However, he stayed out right around 60 yards. He paused for just a second and then he just kept moving through. So there was really no opportunity there, but you know what? I was like, I have yet to see a bear this early. So I'm excited for whatever the rest of the sit brings. Fast forward another half hour. Here comes a boar off from the left. This boar looks a little bit bigger. And at this point I'm thinking, is this him? This guy comes up to the barrels. I see a white V on his chest. I'm like, oh, this is him. I'm gonna take this guy. I'm about to pull back when he runs away. What? What did I do? Well, I didn't do anything. An absolute beast scared him away and is coming in to the barrels. Oh man. I think I just made it happen, man. I seriously think I just did it. The first one that came in I thought was the big one. I thought I saw a movement behind him, and I did. And it was even bigger. Dude! Yes! 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 Oh, thank you. Yes! Let's go! That was a big bear. My head was spinning. It was absolutely spinning. Rod got there.
He was big.
He reviewed the shot. He told me it looked great. He thought that's a dead bear right then and there. So we decided to go out and look for him.
And that right there is my bear. We're gonna make sure he's dead. I think he's dead. But trust your guide. Let him check just in case he wants to maul somebody. You gone?
Looking good, buddy.
Woohoo! Oh.
Rod, you are the man. I gotta say, man, you gotta always trust your guide. Let's walk around.
That's why we hunt so long and try to preach so much.
Yeah.
Well, let's get some.
Don't let it down. Whew. Well, bear hunting is definitely different than deer hunting. A couple years ago I was here, shot a really big bear right back here, bounced out. Probably the worst I'd ever felt hunting in any scenario. And this year I got a chance to come back to hunt at Saskatchewan Big Buck Adventures. And I got a chance again to redeem myself on a nice big bear. It's been a hell of a week. 4 days sitting, probably 35 hours at this point, not seeing a whole lot, but knowing that this guy was there, he was around there. And it just goes to show that you gotta trust your guide. If you're hunting with somebody and they know the area and they've been there 10 times more, doesn't matter how mentally messed up that hunt can be. Trust your guide, keep sitting where they tell you to sit, and things will happen. Woo! Dude, I am stoked. My wife wanted a big old bear rug, and that's what I'm bringing home. So, cannot beat this feeling right here. Cannot beat it. Rod, you're the best. This was one of the most rewarding hunts, personal growth experiences that I've ever experienced in the woods.